Run away from one's problems is a nice strat when it's possible. Oh yeah, it's the most common goalpost in DCSS. Always run away from your problems. Aha. Speaking of which, definitely getting a little bit nasty here. Once the bear goes berserk, we're definitely in a potentially rough spot, so we're trying to couch against that as carefully as we can. Okay, now they're just about at the hit points where they might go berserk, so let us layer on that poison. Fantastic. And you know what, let's use Control F to just forget the floor. There's still a lot of work for us to do here. You, my friend, are a bit of a problem child. Let's just paralyze you. And once more with gusto. Perfect. Man, Orc Priests are definitely the bane of our existence here. Ooh, and failing OTR to 3%, also not grand, but not the end of the world. Wonderful. And that should now be about the entire floor. We'll still just double check it here, make sure we're not leaving anyone behind, any wee bits of experience. Fantastic. Now let's take another peek. Ignite Poison is definitely on its way, but I think it's about time that we start training some more Transmutation in the background to bring that spell failure rate down. Mephitic Cloud, on the other hand. I know we talked about adding it, and I probably should to have some non-poison damage, or at least potential non-poison damage. But it will require some training outside of our current goals here. Air or Conjuration. And we don't exactly have more spells to push me in either direction. I mean, we could go for something like Freezing Cloud, get Air and Ice going at some point here. With Meteor, you kind of have to run into problems instead. It's definitely a paradigm shift from the usual strategies, to say the least. It's part of what I really enjoy about Meteorin, is that they do completely change the way that you have to play the game. In fact, all the more recent species have been good for that, because that's one of my big selling points on Jhin as well, is that it's a very different way to play a spellcaster, and I think that that is just fantastic. Okay, you, my friend, are a bit of a problem. There we go. And back on the road we go. And with Naga, running away from problems is challenging as well. Well, especially since most of my Naga are also worshippers of Che. And so it's definitely not exactly in the cards to run away from your problems in that specific situation. But there we go, that's what we want to see here. More packs of relatively weak enemies, if you could be so kind, game. I would definitely appreciate it. And the Sky Beast is slow enough that we can definitely just cheese this son of a gun out. Beautiful. And that should do the trick. There we go. Transmutation's already up to 3. You, my friend, are a bit of a problem. You're not fast, at least. And we do have resistance to cold, so actually not as bad as I was making it out to be. In fact, we'll just come right in here and start blasting you. Fantastic. When I get Blink online, definitely should start thinking about it at some point in the relatively near future. I'm not in any huge rush to do so, but definitely will make a decent little difference, and okie dokes, a bunch of random little human buddies. Stuck around for a little bit just to get as much poison damage as we could. And then we'll start running away here, letting our problems sort themselves out thanks to the ongoing effect of our poison. Just fantastic. Even though that Ice Beast is also going to have to be dealt with at some point, there will come a time to pay the piper, but hopefully we can just slowly but surely work our way through all these sons of guns for now. Oh, hello there. I see multiple Ice Beasts. Not something you see every day, not exactly ideal, but not the end of the world. We even do have, again, some cold resistance, so we probably could stand our ground just a smidge against these sons of guns. No real reason to, so I am going to play a bit more defensively, but nice to know that we had the option if need be. And there we go, another human. Surprisingly tough, these humans. 33 health. In the early game, if we didn't have the high speed, this would definitely be a bit more of a problem, as is not the end of the world. Ooh, we're also no longer needing to confirm OTR. Nice, that makes things just a bit more convenient. Not a big deal one way or another, but convenience is always appreciated. And then let's get these sons of guns back in view real quick before we just continue with the usual routine of poisoning and walking in the opposite direction. There we go, and let's definitely learn some ignite poison as well. Now we have some decent options at our disposal. I think I will learn Mephitic at 7% failure. That's actually pretty solid. And okie dokes, this is where we truly get to shine. Just lay down the poison and blow it up. Oh me, oh my, that's such a fun spell combo. We have it online really early in this game, so hopefully we can transition that into some good effect moving forward, or rather just to good effect, I should say. You, my friend, shouldn't be too much of an issue here, and in fact, there we go. Guess I said that about the last one that murdered us indiscriminately, so maybe I shouldn't speak quite so confidently about it, but hey. It all works out at the end of the day here. We'll just get more poison on our icy friend. Beautiful. And do I deal with you? Again, we have the speed for it. Just don't want to get hit. Fortunately, resist death saved me there. Well, I'm hoping that at this point we're not still running into the same issues with standard orc wizards, otherwise we definitely are doing something wrong. Fortunately, the mix of willpower ring and just a little bit of extra health makes it so it's a bit more reasonable to take on those fights. Maybe not in conjunction with a couple of priests, but that's a whole nother story, of course. And oh, Sting, you're great and all, but unfortunately not really doing the trick against the Phantom here, and in fact, let's get a bit more creative with this, shall we? Try a couple paralysis, it did not work. Alternatively, what we could do with you, my friend, if you would come right this way, we'll do one of the oldest tricks in the book with any blink enemies. And normally you can do this even without a fast species, just by using and abusing the blinkiness. As a cat, though, we can just take it to the next level and leave you in the dust. This is called parking, and so we'll park that son of a gun. Normally what you do is you fight them, and as soon as you both blinked and with some gaps between you, that's when you'd capitalize and make your way in the opposite direction. But as is, we will definitely use and abuse that son of a gun, and can even murder trolls. Not too shabby. Let's get the poison flowing nicely with our new friends here as well. I see Quasal, that's what everyone was hanging out for. That's what the party was about. But nice, we are back to having some options here, so let's go through some more AD scrolls. I also am hoping for curing. Beautiful, there she is. Not too shabby whatsoever. Definitely just load you up with poison, my friend, blast ya, and we are just about at all of our skill caps. So now is definitely the time to get at least 3 points in fighting. Gets us around 10% of our health online here. And then what do we wish to do for the future? Don't have a heck of a lot of options. We know that we want Blink at some point. We know we want Manifold Assault probably in the future. Hard to say no to the extra unarmed damage on a cat. Colgate, you lost your Baraki Ice Elementalist run to Abyss. Ooh, that's rough. I actually, in that little bit of off-camera play I got the other day, I experienced New Abyss for the first time, so that was interesting. It's weird to be told or be able to see when the rune is nearby. I got down to Abyss 3 and immediately knew it was nearby and found the sparkling tiles and everything, so that's pretty sweet. Still haven't explored to the deeper depths, all the way down to Abyss 7. Who knows what to expect there. But I'm just happy to have experience back in the Abyss. I will not miss those days as long as I may live. Okay, you, my friend, we will go about the old-fashioned way, just kite and sting. Fantastic. That has definitely got to sting, my friend. And let's try to get a little more efficient with our mana against these multiple enemies. Ooh. Orc Warrior, normally a little bit scary, but no real issues. Ooh, and an artifact ring already. Don't mind if I do. Let's check that son of a gun out. Strength -3. We go down to 1 strength to gain fire resistance, corrosion resistance, and a bit of extra slain. Don't get me wrong, pretty tempting. Even though it puts us on the verge of collapse, and collapsing will find us in a shallow grave. We'll hold on to it for a moment here if we need the resistance. If we come up against like a fire-themed enemy, we'll throw it on, but we'll hold off just a smidge because it's not exactly a safe item for us to wear at this point in our journey. You misremembered your current run is apparently still going. You lost an earlier Rakias Elementalist to the Abyss though. Well, perfect. That means that this one definitely couldn't be lost the same way, so you're guaranteed a safe trip through the Abyss, right? Get some like double jeopardy rules going. You can't be killed the same way twice in the video game. At least that's the dream, right? Okie dokie. Iron Imp, huh? You're gonna be a bit of a pain in the butt to deal with, but shouldn't be the end of the world. Again, Sting MVP. Thank you. Now you, on the other hand, are potentially problematic. 18 damage. Okay, not as bad as my imagination was making it out to be to start off. Still not ideal either, though. Definitely wouldn't go that far. Let's blow these sons of guns up, and there we go, up to the fight in 3. Yeah, that really takes almost no experience, and the little bit of extra health is so nice early on here. And then where do we wish to go? I think I will train a little bit of translocations. It'll happen pretty dang quick with that +4 aptitude. In fact, bringing that up to 4 will be no time whatsoever. It's already hit 1 even, so how about that? And you, my friend, if we wait just a little bit longer, we can poison again, and that should do the trick. Not too shabby at the end of the day. We'll quickly kill off. You know, I thought for sure that would kill the priest and not kill the warrior. Turns out, who knew? What do I know, rather, I should say. There's D13, wizard that sent you on the one-way trip. Oh, as is often the case. I feel your pain there. I feel like I've been way too lucky as of late not getting characters banished to the Abyss early on, and so we're just overdue for some unfortunate news in that regard. We'll see. I'm hopeful that we won't have to deal with that anytime in the near future, but never really know. And now, do I want to train some unarmed combat? Probably have Blink castable, so I should, as soon as I get out of this encounter, memorize that for sure. 2 pips of will is usually enough that early, but early wizard is early. Oh yeah, for the wizards you want the triple pip, but what are you gonna do? On D13 can be rough sometimes. Okie dokes. But where do we wish to go? Fire magic doesn't do a lot for us right now, but is something I'll probably want in the future. This is not going to be a prideful run. I'm going to learn Ignite the moment I get it available to me. Let's maybe go with some early dodging. We'll throw out all of my usual playstyle and instead go for something a bit safer, a bit more consistent here. See how that flows and how that works out for us. Especially since there's no real rush to get anything else online besides the occasional poison immune resistant enemies. OTR Ignite Poison is going to be our mainstay, so I'm feeling alright about dealing with the rest of these folks. I've also got to say that this pretty much has to be our entrance to work, right? Otherwise it's a weird amount, definitely some kind of convention going on. But okie dokes, I guess we're heading this way now. Far be it from me to argue with the will of the auto-explore. We are all but pawns in the great game of auto-exploring here. And howler monkeys, not too much of an issue on their own, always slightly concerned about what they may bring to the fold. But turns out, nothing really for us to worry about here, and we'll just take care of all of our problems. Ring of Protection. I will immediately put you on, my friend. We'll trade out Willpower. It's a little bit risky, but this early on, we shouldn't deal with too many issues. In before we get like a D10 wizard that completely ruins my day, but we'll see. Fuzz, no. Oh yeah, save it. I got some unfortunate news for you there. Fuzz did take a one-way trip to the great cat farm in the sky, joining the likes of Cataly Portman in living forever on the farm, of course, having fun. But don't you worry, we're hoping to get some sweet, sweet vengeance for our fallen brethren here. And we'll see how it all goes down with Cat Von D. Cool, yeah, you had Satch Form and CBL online. You were pretty heavily reliant on stair dancing, but you can't stair dance in the Abyss. Any spellcaster is pretty boned if you're sent on an early trip to the Abyss, to say the least. You just don't have the sustainability in your fighting style to really do much in that situation, but hey, that's just the way of the world, and it's not the end of the world either. Just have to move on to a new character. As sad as that may be sometimes. But let's confirm that this is in fact our orc entrance. I've got to assume so. Perfect. Very excited for orc. It's one of my favorite areas to go into with OTR and Ignite Poison. We won't do so right away. It's tempting to, because we could get a nice, like, quick sprinkling of experience there. But the downside is that wargs are a bit of a showstopper. I mean, we could always put down a meth cloud and light it up and hope that that deals with any doggy friends. But it's not the best option. In general, Lair is also going to be a wee bit scary because of how many enemies are not affected by our, oh my gosh, our poison. But getting the Book of Sky here, Lightning Spire, Stormform, and MCC. Maybe we will go air magic this time. I don't think I've ever used MCC in like a 3-rune game, but that's not to say that it's not an option. Level 8 is not too unreasonable to get online in a 3-rune. Never? Yeah, not in a 3-rune. Don't get me wrong. Extended, every time. I was not doing many extended runs around the prime of Absolute Zero. In fact, I never used Absolute Zero. I think I might have used it one time, but MCC has been our stalwart. And in fact, in our 15-rune Felid run, that was definitely the go-to for getting through the majority of the special uniques in late game. But I could see it potentially being fun to get online, even in a 3 rune. I mean, it makes the Royal Jelly fight even more straightforward than it oftentimes is. I've always said that if you go into the Royal Jelly encounter with a plan, it's pretty much guaranteed that you get out of there in one piece. Or at least that you murder that son of a gun. I guess, to keep expectations at a realistic level, but MCC definitely makes it even another step simpler, and you pretty quickly take care of everyone there, or at least unleash all the slimes, read a teleport scroll, dodge out somewhere else, and then try to deal with them one by one. And I do like Stormform as a backup. Bees, be yourself. Oh, not the bees. Except in this case, please the bees, because it's one of the few things that I feel fairly confident in our ability to deal with. So bring on the bees. Always nice to be ourselves. And okie dokie. Now is the time to make a decision. Do we go with air magic? I think we might. I think I'm down with it, and we could end up also getting something like Lightning Bolt that would help out in that regard. MCC isn't always going to be an option against the hordes, but it does help. It definitely helps. It's rough. There are just too many things that I want to get online here, but let's do it. Bit of air magic. Never hurt nobody. We'll bring up to somewhere around 12 for now and see where that leaves us. That gets us on the way towards getting Stormform online, especially if we mix that with slightly higher level of transmutation. So that sounds pretty dang good to me. And keep getting our troll feeling a little under the weather there. Fantastic. Blow the rest of you to Kingdom Come, and you love to see it. In fact, if we could get some more of you sons of guns heading my way, I would be a happy camper. That should just about do the trick. Beautiful, hitting level 11 already. I hate any building that has fancy stone walls, so let's leave that area alone for the time being and just keep exploring the rest of the regular floor here. Hey, more bees. Love to see it. Acid Dragon. Like that one a bit less. Colgate, you like getting MCC online before depths? Yeah, I've definitely never really gotten it that early, but I can see the appeal. It helps out, especially if there are, any enemies that you just want to take out in short order here. So you, my friend, are not fast. You are resistant to poison, though. So that's rough. We no longer have any paralysis to deal with you. Maybe what we'll do is actually put down one of those and blow it up. Fantastic. There we go. Managed to take you out. Holy moly. Sun Guardian Golem, Orb Destruction, and Spellforge Servitor. Okay. So we're getting way too many good spellbooks this run. Turns out I didn't need to worship Sif. I'm just going to get handed everything I need in life. But on Cataly, we definitely saw the power of Spellforge Servitor and Orb Destruction, so maybe we'll do something similar in this run. Another Beehive. How about that? A rarity in the... Oh no, this is the same one. Never mind, ignore me. Just the same Beehive. Would you look at that? Fantastic. But definitely playing to our strengths here, just poisoning the ever-living crap out of all of our new friends. You absolutely love to see it. And that should just about do the trick. Turns out, it doesn't matter if I ignore that. This also, not that bad of a vault. I feel like you gotta, right? It's again playing directly to our strengths here. We just poison everything and then blow it all up and get a free book out of it. Fantastic. Now, do I believe that that scroll is going to be something special because it was in this fun little vault? Let's roll the dice here. Silence. Perfect. Super special. Definitely could have been useful potentially in the future instead, but I'll take it regardless. And then there's a friend that is normally terrifying. Early game Hornets you never really want to see, but not the end of the world with this character. And not too shabby. Okie dokes, there we go. D10 is cleared as well, so I do kind of want to find my way into this little specialty vault. Unless there just happens to be a like trapdoor that heads there. Not from here, unfortunately. Then it's probably gonna have to wait for a Wand of Digging, so maybe not in the cards for the near future here, but eventually something that we'll want to take advantage of. And then okie dokes. Don't feel great about Lair, at least with, again, the Fit of Cloud and Ignite Poison. There's some potential options there, but let's head to Orc instead to start off. And we'll see how things are looking over this direction. Definitely pull you up, my friend. Okay, that's quite the unassuming Orc one. Orc 2 is not going to be quite as forgiving if I had to guess, but shouldn't be the end of the world either. Especially if we can get a decent entrance like that going. Perfect. Now you, my friend, are you going to be a problem? At 7 range, not really. 26% chance to paralyze is not great. Why Orc before Lair? So the main thing is that Lair has more enemies that are resistant to poison. And so on a poison elementalist like this, Orc is pretty much a freebie. You can just OTR and Ignite Poison your way through the group. Orc 2, a bit less so. To be honest, I was hoping for a slightly more expansive Orc 1 to just gain some quick experience. Maybe get something else a bit closer to online. Something even like Lightning Spire, not the end of the world, is a temporary solution to a lot of poison immune enemies. I mean, we could get lucky in Lair and it's nothing but yak packs. So there is that. I have Ignite Poison against Poison Resistant. That's true. Yeah, Meph and Ignite Poison. But that's a pretty expensive combo, and if everything is poison resistant and they're surrounding me and they're all fast, it's not great. It's not that Lair is untenable. I think we'd be fine there. It's more so that Orc is just free. Super easy. Shouldn't really have any issues here. That Warg being the closest that we have to a potential problem. But as you mentioned, we can just blow that son of a gun up here. And let's try that again. And not too shabby. Freezing Cloud is great and Lair handles everything. Right? If we wanted to go the ice route, which I'm not against by any stretch. Right now we're focused on air magic though, and we're gonna just get it rolling. Again, there's nothing saying we couldn't do Lair, but I'm not that plussed about it. We don't have to do it right away. The Orc is super straightforward. We'll get some good loot, some good experience here. Pretty much an easy dub kind of situation, as long as we don't get too many Arbalists. We'll see how it goes. So again, if you take the same run and you end up going to Lair, I definitely have no problem with that, but I'm more than happy to take a quick detour through Orc here, see how things go, and as long as things don't go negatively, then I am a pretty happy cat boy here. And here's where we potentially don't want to fight. Did not have any intentions of coming all the way to the final vault, just kind of how things ended up working out. It's also an air spell. That's right, that's a good point. We'll see how castable Freezing Cloud is as we continue going. Again, need experience before it's going to be operational. Which brings us back to the whole reason why we're here in Orc in the first place. Free experience, baby. And it really should be pretty dang free. Yeah, even this end section, not quite as bad as I was originally worried about, and so we're going to continue slowly but surely making some progress here and seeing how she goes, and providing nothing goes poorly, we may end up just completely clearing Orc before heading off to Lair, and by that stage, I think something like Freezing Cloud could be fully castable with just air magic, or we'll have other options at our disposal one way or another. I'm very happy to start off here to begin with and move on as we see fit.